Good evening, everyone. My name is Jo Galindo, and I will be presenting a speech for my online communications class. One of a driver's worst nightmares is to be stuck on the side of the road with a flat tire. Unfortunately, this can happen to any of us at any time or anywhere without any warning. My purpose tonight is to inform you on the basic steps needed to change a flat tire. In order to prepare myself for this speech, I relied on my own previous knowledge and did research on 4 different websites. The 4 websites include Edmunds.com, the Department of Motor Vehicles.org website, the Louisiana Tech University website, and Geico.com. Changing a flat tire is an easily learned skill that all drivers should know. For the next few moments, I will explain why it's important to know how to change a flat tire. I will go over the materials needed to change a tire, and the basic steps on changing a flat. Let's start with why it's important to know how to change a flat tire. According to the DMV, all drivers should know how to change a flat tire. Waiting for AAA may take a long time. It may take between 30 minutes to an hour and a half, depending on how remote your location is, for help to arrive. It can also be expensive. Brent Romans from Edmunds.com states that it costs between $60 to $150, depending on which area of the United States you live in, to call for a mechanic or AAA to come to your location. And the third reason is waiting for help can be dangerous. It can be dangerous to yourself because you are exposing yourself to wild animals and allowing yourself to become a victim of delinquency. It is also a danger to others because you may be blocking traffic or slowing it down. Now that you know why it's important to know how to change a spare tire, let's continue. In my experience, I have found that you need 3 materials in order to change a spare. The first item you need is the most obvious. You need a spare tire. Most cars have their spares in the trunk of their cars, or on trucks, they're found under the bed of the truck. The second item needed is a wrench. A wrench is used to remove the lug nuts from the flat and tighten the lug nuts once the spare has been mounted. The third item needed to change a tire is your jack. The jack is used to raise a car off the ground to allow you to remove the flat and place the spare back on the wheel axle. Most cars made after 1997 have a small jack in the trunk of the cars in a small compartment. This is according to Bruce McGee from the Louisiana Tech University website. I suggest you make sure all 3 of these materials are in your car the next time you drive. That way, if you have a spare on your way to your next location, you are prepared. Now that you know how to change a spare and the materials you will need, let's continue with the basic steps needed to change the flat. First thing you will do is safely pull over. Pull over on a flat surface out of traffic's way where you can work and have your materials out. You will turn on your hazard lights. Turning on your hazard light lets others know that you are having car problems. Next, find your 3 materials. Again, those are your spare, your wrench, and your jack. And use the wrench to loosen the lug nuts on the flat tire's wheel axle. Make sure that you do not loosen the lug nuts all the way, or your wheel axle will lock and you will not be able to remove the flat. Once the lug nuts have been loosened, place your jack under the flat surface in your car that can withstand the pressure of it being risen off the ground. Slowly raise it off enough to be able to remove the tire and finish loosening the lug nuts. Once they are off, remove your flat and mount your spare and begin to tighten your lug nuts. Again, do not tighten them all the way or your wheel axle will lock and you won't be able to lower your car. Finish lowering your car to the ground and finish tightening your lug nuts. Once everything has been placed down correctly, gather all your materials and put them back in your car in order for you to use the next time. This should include your flat tire. Leaving your flat tire on the side of the road is illegal dumping. If caught by a police officer, you will be fined. Now that I come to a close, I would like to reiterate a few key points we previously discussed. Please remember, it is important for all drivers to know how to change a flat tire. Knowing how to change a flat tire helps you remain safe, save money, and save time. You now also know that the 3 materials needed to change a spare are your wrench, Again, the wrench is used to remove and tighten the lug nuts. Your jack. The jack is used to raise and lower the car. And the spare. The spare is the tire that will replace your flat. Lastly, you know that in order to change a spare tire, you would only need 8 steps. The first step is to safely pull over. Remember, it must be a flat surface where you can easily work. You will gather your materials. You loosen your lug nuts. Raise your car off the ground. And remove the flat and mount the spare. Next, you will tighten your lug nuts and lower your car. And finish tightening your lug nuts in order to finish mounting your tire. When done, put away all your materials, including this flat tire, in order to avoid an illegal dumping fee. I hope the information I shared with you tonight was both informative and interesting. Changing a flat tire is a highly important skill that all drivers should know and is needed by all drivers. Thank you all so much for coming tonight and taking time out of your schedules. Have a wonderful night.